Hey, thanks for tuning in to Emptoraudio, where basically we review audio gear. And today we're going to be taking a look at the Schiit, or is it Schiit? I'm not really sure how to say it exactly, but this is going to be the Rekkr, and this is going to be their latest little amplifier that they've released. This thing is actually quite low power. It's just a couple of watts, but it's also quite affordable at about $150 or so. Now I got this thing, I actually ended up paying for this thing. I got a slight discount on it, that I'm a reviewer as well for Home Theater Hi-Fi. And I definitely like this little unit. It does run, a little toasty. It's going to be one of those Class A/B amplifiers. And overall, I think it's a fantastic little amp. On the back here, of course, it's not going to be 5-way binding posts, which is one thing that, something to save some space, but of course you have to use a banana connector to connect your speaker wire. Now, a lot of people have said things about this amplifier that says, hey, am I going to have enough power? That is something that I thought was quite interesting when I got to test this amp out myself. I think it does have plenty of power for, maybe like a near-field listening system. However, though, comparing it to larger amplifiers, say something like a Rekkr B50, you can definitely feel maybe some of the bass being a little bit lackluster in some types of listening there. Now, is that necessarily going to be because of lack of power? Not necessarily. It could be just because it's a Class D at the Rekkr and a Class AB. Of course, it's always fun to test out other amps that you can find and get your hands on, but this thing also has a mono mode, which is pretty cool. So you can run 2 of these in your system. The connections, or the actual little bit of switches, are just down here, very, very tiny little switches. They're inlaid a little bit, so you can't accidentally hit them, which is pretty nice to see there. The only thing I don't like about this unit, one thing that I discovered initially, was that your power switch is going to be on the back side of it here. Kind of a little bit of annoying there. But let's do a close-up on this, and let's also take this thing apart and see what it looks like on the inside. All right, let's take a closer look at this thing. Of course, I mentioned, the on-off switch here is a little interesting. It's on the back, which is kind of, that's okay by me. It's not a huge deal. Keeps the faceplate, of course, looking a bit cleaner. We do have one status light here on the front, and of course we have our heat sinks are right up here. This thing does produce quite a bit of heat for its size. If you've ever worked with any Class AB amps, this thing is no different, of course, when it comes to producing heat, and there's a reason why they definitely left part of this case open here. I'm a big fan of kind of that slate gray they have going on here. Very cool look to it. Let's see here on the back. We do have the RCA inputs. There is no, of course, pre-outs or anything on here. And then we, of course, have the mono is right up here if you want to have that in mono mode. So let's take this thing apart, and I'm really curious to see what is on the inside here. And to take this apart, there's only 2 tiny little screws here that come out. So once you have those 2 tiny screws, what you got to do then is this, it pops up and then just comes off. There's a little lip here on the front of the case right there, and that's how it stays attached on the front side there. All right, let's see what we've got on the inside here. Here's the front on the inside. There's our heatsink right there. We've got a couple of capacitors here. They're a little bent up in here, a little bit bent up here. You can see right over here, this one's kind of bent over to the right. Not sure why these are so bent like this. They should just be standing upright. This is manufactured in the USA, or assembled in the USA. Not everything in here is from the USA. I like the little less power, more, better right there. Kind of fun to see. We do have a Nexum Japan chip right in here as well. And this is going to be the Rekkr 1.0. All right, so overall for quality on this, I think quality is actually pretty solid. Now, overall listening experience, I think it's fantastic for smaller near-field monitors. However, though, when you get into a little bit larger speakers, definitely more, bass-friendly speakers, you do start seeing a little bit of a dip in performance. So overall, out of 10, how would I rate this unit? I'd probably give it maybe like an 8 out of 10. Build quality is fantastic. I think the price is a bit high for what we're seeing, but of course, it's going to be assembled in the USA, where a lot of the other comparable models you're going to find maybe on Amazon are going to be, of course, made in China, going to be a lot cheaper as well, too. So overall listening experience I think has been fantastic. Not the best I've heard. Some Class D amplifiers I've heard that I put a lot more power are going to be more bass friendly, more mid-range friendly. But overall, the Rekkr is a fantastic choice if you're looking for a nice, warm sounding amplifier to power your near-field monitors on your desktop. So guys, thanks for watching, take care, have a great day, and thanks for watching Emptoraudio.